international team of astronomers says it has discovered what appear to be planets that are not orbiting stars. Some scientists have suggested the existence of such free-floating planets in space. The team, which includes researchers from Japan's Nagoya and Osaka universities, says it has discovered 10 such suspected floating planets. The planets each have a mass approximately equivalent to that of Jupiter. The discoveries were made over 18 months, starting in April of 2006, using a special telescope at an observatory in New Zealand. The researchers say the discovered celestial bodies must be floating planets because, unlike fixed stars, they do not emit light. They say they found no fixed stars near these planets.
The discoveries are a step toward learning how planets were created and how they develop.
Some scientists expect that a NASA surveyor to be launched in 2020 will be able to capture images of these floating planets.
Imagine a planet floating freely through the universe, not orbiting any star. Well, astronomers think they may have found one, and it's only 100 light years from Earth. That makes it easier for researchers to test new techniques for examining the environments of alien worlds. It's possible this could be a small failed star, a so-called brown dwarf. Or it could be a true planet that formed around a star, but was kicked out in a slam dance of gravitational dynamics. Whatever it is, there could be many more of them. Several new studies point to a model of the universe in which rogue planets outnumber main sequence stars by more than 2 to 1.
Hello everyone, you're watching Radio RWJ. And today I have some news for you about the rogue planet, Planet X. And this has sort of been confirmed by NASA. First they said there's no such planet like that, but now they've observed a planet like Nibiru. They say it's unlikely to destroy Earth, but they're giving us little clues. Now, I'm not sure if this planet is or may not, attack Earth or be, anything bad for Earth. I'm not sure about that, but NASA's confirmed that it exists. First they said there's no such object in our solar system, but now they're starting to give us an idea that it may be there. And this may cause a disruption in Earth, and no one's really sure right now what's going on. There's the Mayan conspiracy, there's the zombies attack that's going on, and earthquakes. Level of earthquakes this year have been phenomenal. If you want to read over, I'll read it for you. The ancient Mayan calendar comes to an end on December 21st this year. Mayans, yes, intelligent people, but I don't think that's the main reason why the world will end, just because their calendar ends. But 2012 has been a really, really crazy year. We've seen earthquakes magnitude 9.0, maybe above. And if you have the earthquake app, you can get that for Windows and even iOS. You can see the amount of 6 and 5.6 earthquakes on the Richter scale that are happening these days. It's every single day you have one or another 6 or 5.6 earthquake, and the amount of stuff that's happened. And there's an asteroid DA14 is going to come really close to our solar, that's going to come really close to Earth, and the scientists are saying it's not going to impact, but no one knows yet what's going to happen. I guess we just have to wait December 21st, 2012, because right now, not much. Lots has happened. You can't say nothing has happened this year. This is a really big global change. You can't say what is happening this year is a normal change. This is a global catastrophe. I don't want to sound like one of those really weird people saying, oh, the world's gonna end and stuff like that, but well, the facts are there, so I'm just giving it to the people, showing them what's happening in today's world. So yeah, so this has been a little video about telling you about that NASA has confirmed planet like Nibiru or Planet X, whichever you may. First they said it didn't exist, now they're saying it exists, but they're saying it will not harm planet Earth. But let's just see what happens. I know it seems like a really weird thing to just sit and have to just sit and die but not do anything. I'm not going to tell anyone to prepare. If you want to prepare, you could. I'm not stopping you from preparing. I'm not telling you to prepare. I thank you.
We want to present to you some rather compelling evidence that would substantiate the belief that the Earth is now in the midst of an erratic wobble, which in turn is contributing to the extreme Earth and climate changes that are having such a profound effect upon our planet at this time. We often get numerous comments from viewers and occasionally from our subscribers that Earth and climate changes are just part of the natural process of a world that is continuously changing. And this has been true in some respects throughout our existence. But what we are now experiencing across the globe in the way of extreme weather events and also catastrophic Earth changes, they go beyond the scope of natural occurrences. They are becoming unprecedented in nature. In one of our recent videos, we presented an article from National Geographic, which indicates that scientists now believe that climate change is causing the poles to shift at an accelerated rate. But if you really take the time to analyze the data and study the facts, wouldn't it make more sense to conclude that it is actually the shifting poles that are causing the sudden change in the world's climate? You might ask, how is that so? And so we would ask to you, go back and look at the history of the world. There has in fact been a number of pole shifts throughout the existence of this planet. And just because the world is now inhabited by humans who are living in a modern technological age, well, this doesn't mean that a major pole shift is outside the realm of possibility in our lifetimes. It is, however, conceivable that we are now in the initial stage of the pole shift that Edgar Cayce envisioned, and that which Albert Einstein had acknowledged would occur. So we can speculate as to why we are witnessing these sudden changes on our planet, and what might be causing these changes, but the facts do speak for themselves as to exactly what is happening at this time. Some of you keep insisting that we show irrefutable evidence that the Earth is being turned upside down, and that a rogue planet in our solar system is responsible for the Earth shifting on its axis, which is a belief now held by the Inuit elders who have observed the skies and the sun for a generation. Then there are others of you who claim that we have been saying for the last 15 years that Planet X would be coming. Well, all we can tell you is that we have been waiting for 3,600 years for its return. A planet which is 5 times the size of Earth, that moves in a retrograde orbit. This isn't going to be the type of planet that travels at a rapid pace across our solar system. Then again, if the planet were visible to the naked eye, would you then believe? We will tell you this, that the world is beginning to see a period of great tribulation, and the arrival of Planet X may come much sooner than any of us would have imagined. Now, we are not trying to be fearmongers or alarmists. There are already too many of them out there. We are just trying to present common sense evidence to the public. So here are some of the things we know for sure. Earth changes are increasing dramatically worldwide. In fact, since 2012, earthquake and volcanic activity has risen on a phenomenal level. Volcanoes are approaching 40 eruptions per day. That's right. Hard to believe, but true. Earthquakes in the Ring of Fire are more frequent and are occurring in unusual areas where people are not accustomed to them. So first off, let's examine the details of the unprecedented earthquakes happening in 2016. The earthquake activity along the Pacific Ring of Fire has been nothing short of unprecedented. From coast to coast, there have been a surge of activity that earthquake researchers are taking note of at this time. On February the 16th of 2016, a report from stuff.co.nz reported a 6.0 magnitude earthquake, which was felt as far south as Dunedin. Now, coincidentally, this earthquake was shown as a magnitude 5.9 on the EMSC website, which would be different from what was shown on the GeoNet site. There have been a number of recent earthquakes taking place in New Zealand that range in magnitude of 4.3 down to 3.6. And then, of course, the 6.0 that was just recently recorded. But of all the earthquakes 3.0 or greater that were shallow in depth, this is a spike in activity that is more dangerous because the tremors are happening near the surface. The earthquake activity that has been recorded on the RSOE website is from the last 2 days alone, which is also very alarming. With the Alpine Fault overdue for a major quake and the amount of activity taking place at the moment, we feel it is wise for New Zealanders to be ready. We should also note that California is continuing to experience tremors with some rare earthquakes recently, along with several smaller earthquakes all taking place within the last few days. Now, moving down to South America, there has been a spike in earthquake activity in the past 24 hours, measuring in the magnitude of 4.8 down to 3.6. Now, this is a signal for pressure building up along these plates, and that pressure has to release at some point in time. If you take a look at this chart, you will see that fireball events were recorded as in the hundreds per year in the year 2005. By 2011, there had been over 1,500 reports of fireballs. And since that time, it has dramatically increased to where in the year 2015, there were over 9,000 reports of fireballs. Now, it's interesting to note that the frequency of fireballs has increased by 120% between the years 2013 and 2014, and has risen another 20% between the years 2014 and 2015. Now, this is a significant increase, and it should be generating a lot of attention, but if it is, then it's being done very quietly behind closed doors. Now, looking at NASA's data month by month, we see that the fireball frequency is most concentrated in the months of August to December. However, the numbers for June and July are also increasing significantly, suggesting that the area of space from which asteroid and comet debris is reaching Earth, and consequently into which the solar system is moving, is increasing in size. NASA has also published data for near-Earth asteroids, or NEAs, discoveries since 1995. Their data shows a consistent increase in asteroid numbers from 1998 through the year 2013. and significant increases for 2014 and 2015, which shadows the big increases in fireballs that were observed over those 2 years. Now this chart shows NASA's identification of fireballs since October of 2013. Note that the vast majority of fireballs are classified as sporadics. In other words, they are not identified with any known meteor shower. Now they may occur during the same time period as a named meteor shower, but they travel in different directions and occur in different parts of the sky. So what's happening in our solar system? It appears that one of a couple of things is happening. The solar system is moving into an area of space where it is encountering a higher density of rocks and asteroids, along with the debris trails of some comets. Or something such as Nemesis is approaching the inner solar system and perturbing comets and asteroids from the Kuiper belt and or the Oort cloud. Now, the two scenarios are not exclusive, but the first scenario could also be triggered by the second. The Nemesis hypothesis proposes that the Sun has a companion star, a brown or red dwarf, in a highly elliptical orbit that periodically disturbs comets and asteroids in the Oort cloud, causing a large increase in the number of comets visiting the inner solar system and a consequential increase in impact events on Earth. Now, we're being told that the Nemesis twin sun has yet to be detected by NASA's Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer telescope. But WISE has discovered several brown dwarfs in neighboring star systems. So, what exactly is happening in 2016? Well, as you will see by this chart, the fireballs continue to significantly increase. The weather keeps getting more